heroes in their own right.
Yeah, I imagine like 33 and Collapse are experts at their craft. Their craft is the same, but they are completely different. Like that, you don't get that in many crafts in the world, but in Dota, you do. And really, Collapse, one of the best aggressive offlaners, one of the best at catching people, 33, one of the best at controlling areas, and then coming to the later portions of the game with all of his items and just ending it right there. And then we're gonna be seeing some bans here coming out. They are definitely afraid of the sniper, and for a good reason. Yatoro has shown just how powerful he can be on this one.
Yeah, do you think Team Spirit was sitting there with like 5 people plus their coach watching the last series? Or were they just, you know, chilling, playing some pubs, and then the coach is like desperately trying to write down notes and then telling the team?
You think Tundra?
Uh-huh.
To me, they seem like nerds. Like literally everyone is with a piece of paper and pen and writing down their thoughts, and then in the hour that they had left, they're just discussing each other's notes. Skitter does seem a little bit like a bad boy, right? But the other 4 and Aoi, I think they were watching the series.
Right, if they win, we'll have to ask them about it. We're gonna see the Leshrac being banned for Laurel. And the Bat Rider is gonna get taken out of Nine's hands. So one more ban. Is there anything obvious that needs to be banned right now? I guess it's gonna be a Rubik Centaur lane, and there is not a lot of... there aren't that many heroes that can beat that, I feel like.
Monkey King. I would ban out the Monkey King. I feel like that's the only hero the Team Spirit have had a problem with in the lane phase. Even though it's not necessarily the main Skitter hero, I think it might be worth to ban it out.
It's a bit awkward with Undying though, don't you think? Or could they maybe move Undying to the off lane?
I don't. Maybe they could actually. That is a good approach. Enigma Undying is actually a very strong lane. It might not have a lot of kill potential, but it's constantly threatening you. And in terms of CS, you are going to be suffering with a lot of heroes. But they ban out the CK, so you know the same deal. Not really doesn't really heal up as much as a Monkey King does, but it's the same approach. It is definitely a hero that Tundra know how to play. Yesterday we saw that with stand-ins, Nightfall could play it and the rest of the team could play around it quite nicely. Okay, this Enigma, the black hole, does not exist.
Yeah, I wonder if he's even gonna get Blink BKB, or if he's just gonna get like Guardian Greaves and then something like a Hex to be useful after all.
This is such a Tundra draft. Look at this. So how do you deal with this Naga? Do you go for an Ember now? Is that even good enough?
10 seconds remaining.
It's a pretty tough ask. I always like seeing Pugna against Naga, because with the shot you can kill all the illusions instantly. Because Life Drain, of course, kills illusions in one go, and you can split it with the Nether Ward. But they go for Pungo. That's a really good hero against Naga.
And it's a pretty decent hero in this game overall. Until the Enigma gets the black hole, jumping into black hole, you can still cancel it out with the Rolling Thunder. I guess though, Naga used to be somewhat of a counter to the Pango, and then the Shard, right, came into play. You get Aghanims on the Naga. It's not really a counter towards it, so you're always gonna have a issue with this hero, and I like it. It is a hero that allows you to deal with illusions at pretty much any point in the game, and in the late game in particular, he is actually quite nice against her. It does push out the waves quite nicely, and looking at the heroes of Tundra, they don't catch him ever, and it is a Laurel hero overall. Also, I'm liking this one from Spirit.
And we're expecting that Tiny to go to Saxa, right? Because that's more of a
Yes.
Saxa than a 9 hero.
Yes, I would assume so, but then I'm looking at a Rubik and a Silencer, and I'm thinking that killing them is actually not that bad. But something that comes to mind as a 9 hero here would be a Keeper, right? That would be even better than a Tiny in hunting down these supports.
Keeper does look very nice. And we see a Sven ban coming out from Tundra. He's been coming back into the meta a little bit. But were you really afraid of the Sven here if you were
5
Tundra?
seconds remaining.
I guess you were afraid of your lane losing
Tundra
too much,
Esports,
right? Because
turn to
Silencer and the
ban.
Sven with the Warcry, the Enigma is useless in that lane. So I think you're
Team
mostly protecting the
Spirits,
Enigma
turn to
more so
ban.
than protecting the Naga.
And it looks like Team Spirit agrees
Tundra
with me
Esports,
as they're
turn
banning
to
out
ban.
more 9 heroes. But it could still be a tiny 4-9.
I mean, Tiny is the best position for to lane with the Enigma. Anyone who has ever played an Enigma will tell you that it's just so easy to play with the Tiny in the lane. The toss back is super
10
strong. If they go
seconds
for the Enigma,
remaining.
which is a slow hero, you have the Avalanche to stop them in their tracks. So in that regard,
5
I'm
seconds
a bigger
remaining.
fan of the Tiny going towards the position 4.
Team
And I think
Spirits, turn
that
to
Tundra
ban.
might need some added magical damage, constant output of it as well. And Tiny, if he's in the mid lane, you don't really have a support that is constantly going to be dishing out that much damage.
Ooh, and we see the Yatoro Marcy being banned out. So they were watching after all.
10
Don't want to
seconds
face
remaining.
it. Even without the collapse Magnus, it's terrifying.
5 seconds
Definitely.
remaining.
So for Yatoro, I'm kind of looking at a Monkey King as a potential that can threaten
Tundra
the Enigma. That is
Esports,
good
turn
against
to
the
pick.
against the Naga. They will ban out the Dragonite, so that's a 9 hero that gets taken out. What does he want?
For 9, I like
Team
the color you
Spirits,
suggested.
turn to-
Let's see, what else is there? I could go for a Zeus, maybe not the best. Kanka is in the pool as well. I think Queen of Pain could do okay. Puck. There's quite a few options for 9.
He played some Doom as well,
10
so I'm
seconds
not
remaining.
sure about it, but it seems like a Tundra type of hero, so they could get away
5
with it. You know, you're
seconds
pushing the side
remaining.
lanes and then you go with the Doom every 2 minutes and you kill someone.
I think Doom is a Tundra hero. I don't like it in this draft too much. I feel like they need a hero that can pressure the map without any cooldowns. Because if you look at this Tundra Esports lineup, they can't kill anyone. They have a Tiny who can kill people, but all of the rest is just gonna run around farming. And I feel like they need that big space creator that's gonna actually make sure that the Naga and the Enigma have a space in this game to farm.
Then I'm voting for a keeper, right? If they pick a keeper of the light, Yatoro would have to go for something like a Faceless Void or along those lines because you don't really have
Team
the catch.
Spirits,
And
turn
it's just
Tundra
not that good with the
Esports,
Spirit lineup.
turn
So
to
yeah, I
pick.
would like to see a keeper. I think it would probably be the best one.
I think keeper or Puck. It's okay, so it is probably gonna be the mid Tiny
Fine.
then, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Could be mid Spirit Breaker as well. That would truly be something else.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think so. I don't think so. This is, again, a good hero with the Enigma.
5
Then you have
seconds
squishy
remaining.
supports that you can charge from one part of the map, give vision to a 9, and then he's gonna be hunting. So I'm okay with it.
Tundra Esports,
I was
turn
gonna
to
suggest Yatoro Morphling, but then I was like, oh, it's against the Naga. That seems pretty rough. But they're gonna put all of their faith in the Laurel Pango to deal with Naga, and Yatoro is just gonna have fun on lane in the mid game, taking over the Spirit Breaker, charging all over the map.
10 seconds
Should be a good
remaining.
one.
It is a mid lane Spirit Breaker.
Okay.
5 seconds
Okay,
remaining.
that's
I
gonna be
suggested
cool.
it like 50% as a joke, but they actually did it.
Team Spirits, turn
He
to
does
ban.
play it. I've seen it in the past. It is a solid hero against the Pango as well because you can deal with the Rolling Thunder quite nicely. The Spirit Breaker is the strongest one in Dota, right? When he charges, he is going through everything through the Primal Beast, through the Rolling Thunder. Every single
Tundra
time he wins. So
Esports,
maybe that's the
turn
idea.
to
Get an
ban.
early Aghanim Scepter and make sure that this Pango isn't being a problem to your Naga. But you mentioned a Naga versus a Morphling matchup. I think if the Morphling gets an Aghanims, the Naga is actually crippled.
Yeah, a bit for sure. I guess it
10
could go either
seconds
way.
remaining.
I would give a small edge to Naga because in a man fight it's kind of
5
hard for
seconds
Morphling.
remaining.
But I mean, it is a Yatoro Morphling, so it's not just a Morphling.
So you are you favoring Tundra here?
You know, with Tundra, I'm always like, they picked such weird heroes. How can I win with this? But then they do win. I don't know.
Team Spirits,
Sense
turn
tells me
to ban.
to go with Team Spirit because I understand their lineup, but maybe that gives the edge to Tundra because I just don't get it, and it's gonna be playing like a different style of Dota. I'm still gonna go with Spirit though. That's my bold prediction.
I think I agree with you. With
10
Spirit, we
seconds
know where
remaining.
we're sitting. With Tundra, they're gonna be all around the place, and sometimes it can be a big
5
advantage.
seconds
But sometimes
remaining.
even you as a team can kind of get pulled into clowny gameplay and not be able to react to it. And I think Team Spirit, one of the main things of this team is adaptability. So they should be able to.
Tundra Esports turn to ban.
It did go Spirit's way as well, 55 to 45 in favor of Spirit.
It's interesting though. Yatoro played against Spirit Breaker before on Morphling, and I was like, oh, he's probably gonna get like first item Lincoln Sphere, right? You know, like the threads into Lincoln Sphere, and you don't have to worry about the charge ever again. But then he just didn't buy it all game, and he just relied on waveform and Manta dodges, and I was like, my goodness, this guy. He has some brass
BetBoom?
balls.
BetBoom believes more in Tundra, slightly more though. Looking at the odds there, they do look quite juicy, and if anyone wants to use them, there is a banner down below which will give you a $15 free for your first bet. But everyone here probably knows what they're coming into. This should be a hell of a series here, Wingblade. Two teams, two completely different styles of Dota, and we'll see who comes out ahead. Will it be the current TI winner or the former TI winner minus Toronto Tokyo plus Laurel? We'll be finding out in the series, but so far Team Spirit on a better start. They get the reward.
How do you think Laurel is feeling? Like, there is 9 TI winners in this game.
He feels like you could win because I wasn't as good as I am now in the in TI. Though yeah, I guess he was there with BetBoom and didn't do too well. They were last place. But anyways, you know, he's not a new guy in the scene. There shouldn't be that much pressure on him. So I'm thinking that that he's gonna take it like a champ.
I think so too. I mean, they've been around as a squad for a while. It should be fine. So
I have a very
easy.
easy question for you.
Okay.
Who wins this mid lane matchup?
I think it's Spirit Breaker favorite. He has
Okay.
way better base stats, so he can just play really aggressively, and he also has the charge to secure creeps if he wants to. That being said, it's a Pungo, so he's gonna get farm anyway, because that's what the hero does. 17%. That's all you need.
There was this talk. I was listening to Aoi and his analysis of the drafts, and he's like, yeah, we sometimes pick lanes that on paper should be losing, but our player has played this matchup and the enemy player isn't used to it. And I think this is one of those situations. How many times did you play your Pango versus Spirit Breaker? Never. And 9, when he plays this in pubs, he is gonna counter a Pango from time to time.
Stomp coming out onto Snake, tanking a lot of damage from the creeps.
Rarely do we slay that that level 1. You're just straight up fighting with the Undying, but I guess that's the strength of the Rubik and the Centaur. You're just able to.
Yeah, before he gets a lot of decay stacks, he isn't actually that strong. So if you just fight him level 1, stun him, and just keep hitting, you can actually take him down, and he doesn't have any more regen.
Mira is winning this. Mira is definitely winning this. He just needs one more hit. Snaking, juking around the trees, but the creeps will see him. And that's gonna be a first blood for Team Spirit. A first blood in this best of 5 grand finals. The bloodbath has started. Team Spirit will see if they want it to continue. Are they gonna continue playing aggressively here? Skitter is actually being pushed back.
Yeah, I would expect Skiddo to struggle a little bit early. Just before he has a lot of points in his queue. His collapse, just look at him.
Running from one towards the other. And the creeps here, look at their positioning. But that just means that on the other side of the lane, Mira, he's just getting some denies. And Tundra, they're losing creeps. They're losing experience. They're losing the lane.
Yeah, so far so good for Spirit, and 77% win rate for Collapse. It doesn't surprise me.
Games. 44 games. It's not like it was, okay, it's 10 games, you know, he won 7 out of 10, not a big deal. He has played so many games and he's doing so well for himself, as well as the rest of Spirit here on every single lane. They're farming well. Even the mid lane matchup there were 9. I said he might have a slight edge. Well, Laurel is farming just as well.
My patience is rewarded.
Skitter disconnected. Let's hope he figures out his issues soon enough and we can get back into it.
Hoping as well. Do you pronounce his name Skitter or Skeeter? I like Skeeter more, but it just Skitter sounds more natural.
I think it's actually Skeeter, but I don't think it matters too much. It gets the message across, right? It's like either it's Skitter, like some sort of insect, or it's like Skeeter, where he just likes the winter sports.
I was imagining more like you know, redneck USA stuff like that. Skeeter, you know, from let's say from South Park. That would be the name of the redneck in South Park overall. But that's what came to mind to me first. I guess we are just all different there. Still, we'll see how this game continues. Because Kidder, he is back, and let's see if he can maybe do a little bit better in this lane. In terms of CS, though, he's doing quite well. But when we look at Mira CS, we can understand that this top lane is actually going pretty well for Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so far so good for Spirit. I mean, Collapse isn't getting too many creeps, though. He is very aggressive, he's very dominant, he's very imposing, but he's not really killing that many creeps.
Look at the now I would have wanted to say, oh, 57% win rate, 33 well played, but after 70 it's just not that much. Snaking again, dropping low, one more hit, and he might not be getting a lot of creeps, but they're gonna be killing this Undying once again. This time around it is gonna be Collapse that gets the kill, and the top lane continues to do well for Spirit.
Be careful there. Goes really low.
He likes to do this.
No worries, once he gets a Vanguard, I have no idea how he's ever gonna die, but Miposhka is going to. Nice toss back by Saksa, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, the power of the Enigma Tiny. You get out of position once you get tossed back, and then with the Malefice, you're never getting out. The Eidolons do way too much damage. As soon as you're level 3 on both of these heroes, that is when it becomes dangerous. Sure, you might not be able to kill the Morphling, but a Silencer is just a freebie.
Just a 1k lead for Team Spirit so far. I'm really excited to see the first 9 charge to his side lane. I guess he's gonna wait until someone is really low or he hits level 6. It's gonna be good.
Do you know how to imitate a cow properly?
No, I haven't practiced too much. But I do believe that if you do it properly, you increase your bash chance.
Anyways, Yatoro gonna be caught. He doesn't have the waveform, only 1 point in the attribute shift. Should be enough for him to survive, but he's still being pressured, which means that this bottom lane that was now going well for Yatoro is gonna be going the other way. It's not gonna be so easy for him to stay here.
Yeah, 33 is really dominating this lane. He's leading in CS and he has so many more denies.
Taxa. He almost kills Miposhka there solo with the help of the stacked camp, but in the end, he's gonna be the one going down against the Morphling who does so much physical damage with 0 armor. You cannot live. That was a nice attempt there, tossing Miposhka into the camp, but he wanted the kill. He wanted too much. He'll get punished for it.
Ooh, and now Vanguard is up for Collapse. So he is never gonna die on this lane again until we see like a 9 rotation, and even then. He doesn't have any points in return though, so he can't skip the waves that easily or deal a ton of tower damage.
Sometimes he even skips it completely. I've seen it in the Christmas show. In the DPC, he did usually take at least 1 point, but in the Christmas show, he was usually going for just complete ignore of that spell. Yatoro taking some damage, 2 points in the attribute shift. Is it enough to make him live? No, he doesn't have any more to shift, and actually gets into the tower. Yatoro, he's gonna be outplaying that one. Moves a little bit more into agility, then back into strength. Just enough HP to survive, barely.
Nicely done there. Yeah, I think
he has
skipping...
no HP, no mana.
Yeah, I think skipping return for the start of the lane made a lot of sense, because he didn't really need it. And now he gets a point because he wants to start pressuring a bit more.
And it's retaliate, right? Yeah, I know it has been changed. That is that the name of the spell now is retaliate? Yep, but anyways, Yatoro is gonna get the Malefice on him. He's actually going forward, and now he's being charged up. Here comes Laurel as well. He's here a little bit faster, but yeah. avalanche will stop. He's gonna go for the rolling thunder, but he's
so close.
already. The spirit breaker is stronger. He's not gonna be connected here. He just destroys Yatoro head first into the water, and he just disperses. Now he's gonna be sending you back. Alara will be stopped in his tracks. He doesn't have the mana, but he does have the HP necessary to live. He's just going forward. There's gonna be the slowest charge in the world, and Miposhka, he was out of the map for a couple of seconds, but in the end, he does live.
Yeah, and really nice TP by 33.
Just in time. Oh, Mira going forward, and now we're gonna be seeing 9 just applying pressure to everyone on the map, and people are probably gonna start believing in this pick a little bit more, so they can click on the banner below. But on the bottom lane, Larl is just gonna be just as dangerous. They're going for 33. They want him dead, and they will get him down, especially with the Stampede being there. But here comes a one-man Stampede. Actually decides it's not worth it.
And that's some permanent stolen intelligence as well. Team Spirit's gonna be extra happy with that one.
Collapse on the top lane, going through some raindrops of snaking. Those are gonna make sure that he can stay here for a bit longer. But this collapse centaur, it is reminding me of game 1 of the lower bracket finals when he played the Tide. He's just unkillable, and no one even wants to bother with him.
Yeah, and I think that's a good call. They put snaking up here because he's probably gonna survive, at least get some XP. And Naga's gonna be completely fine just jungling. Ooh, are they gonna go for him? I think this is gonna be a pretty difficult kill. Oh, he has a cloak as well.
Mira, lift him up. He's not gonna be doing maybe with a hoof stomp. He's not even gonna attempt it. 9, the 7 DD. A couple of bashes will do the trick. Here comes the zombies. Gonna be killing that one. Rolling thunder. Being charged up. And here comes Larl. With a nether strike. He comes through the nether to attack Collapse. He's still okay. The Vanguard is keeping him alive. And Larl will make sure that he gets out safe. 9. He's gonna be going for another charge. He's not gonna be letting this go, but Collapse is so good. He stops him in his tracks. You will not go forward. You're gonna go under the hooves of Collapse, and now you die to the double edge. You wanted my life, but I take yours. In return, Tundra, without their mid laners, they have to bail.
Yeah, we just discussed, like, ooh, Collapse is such a difficult kill to get. I'm not sure if it's gonna be worth it. And they commit for it, it doesn't work out. And now the Teal 1 is under even more pressure. It's not gonna be alive for too much longer, I reckon.
Rubik level 6 TP to the bottom lane. I think they want to bait out the black hole. He's not gonna be showing himself.
Collapse is getting a little bit low here. Maybe they want to give it another shot. No nether strike though.
See, charge, illusions are gonna kill themselves. Collapse runs forward. Yeah, 9, nice charge. But you have it every couple of seconds. I can constantly keep running towards you. That is a beast if I've ever seen one.
Yatoro, it does indeed look like he has no Lincoln Sphere cute. We just skip it again.
Rune will spawn on the bottom lane. He's gonna use the bulldoze, but he doesn't have the movement speed necessary there, and it seems like it's gonna be Larl that secures that one. So now he's gonna have the illusion, allowing him to potentially dodge the charge, though it isn't the easiest ability to dodge.
Saksa gonna be rushing a Blink Dagger, no huge surprises there. And Mira, does he have anything on the career? Looks like he may be going for a quick Edda lens.
Now it's just gonna be a TP while Larl, he wants to go for a... It's gonna be a Maelstrom on the Pango, so he's definitely putting a lot of emphasis on countering the Naga Siren. The Diffusal is the go-to item for most people.
I think it makes a lot of sense this game. It's good against the Eidolons as well, and just pushing out the lanes. They wanna give Collapse another shot.
Round 3. Let's see, round 3, maybe this time we're gonna have enough. Nope, we are just headbutting into the Centaur, but for now he's coming out ahead. Nether Strike, he's gonna be canceling that one. Collapse, he gets himself out of range and will be fine. Bottom lane, there's an offlaner that is not going to be fine. He does use the mech. Will that HP be enough to keep him alive? Okay, the Swashbuckler misses. He does have the Lance of Pursuit. He's going to have to go for the Rolling Thunder, and the TP will not go through. At least he forced this one out. Mira, he is going to be dying there to the Eidolons and from the chase of Saksa. And Larl, can he get another one for himself? Saksa does have the Avalanche there. Should be enough to keep him alive with the TP out. No, Larl just does way too much damage. Javelin procs, and it's going to be enough.
Laurel really popping off from this Pango. And could be in trouble as well.
And there trampling over him, and now Yatoro, he's gonna be going forward as well. I can do it too. And they're just gonna be getting over 9. He looks tanky, but Team Spirit do way too much damage.
That's a nice little tombstone bonus as well. And the most impactful charge so far coming out from Yatoro.
That's one thing we haven't discussed. Like, Morphling like turning into the Dark Willow, into the Shaker, but Spirit Breaker is just as good, especially having the Bulldoze status resistance on the Morphling and the charge. With extra mobility, this hero is a beast.
And Collapse, he's just 300 gold away from his Blink Dagger. That's gonna open up even more aggressive opportunities for Team Spirit, and I don't think that Tundra is quite ready to fight yet. They are gonna go for a smoke though, with Staking and 9. Let's see if they can find something here.
Oh boy, their damage is severely lacking now on Tundra. It is very hard to imagine them getting a kill on a core. On a support maybe, but on a core, very, very hard.
Yeah, and I wonder when that's gonna change. Because I'm not looking at their heroes and seeing like a really specific timing where suddenly they're gonna be able to burst a 2000 HP Centaur.
Mira is thinking about a Linken's as well, so Team's already thinking into the future about the items that are gonna be helping them later on. And to be honest, I mean, Linken's for various reasons. 1, so that you can split push. 2, if you steal the black hole, the Spirit Breaker cannot cancel it. So I'm this from Mira. Yes, it is optimistic currently, but you're hoping that that time will come.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting item decision. But I would love to see it. Some innovation in this grand finals.
Smoke from Spirit, they're going slowly. The smoke was broken and Collapse, he misses a stun. You were talking to me about 3-man stomps, he now misses a single one. It doesn't matter, the kill will still come, but it is only a tiny good positioning for Saksa, saves 33's life.
He only gets the big stuns when it matters, you know?
Okay. That makes sense,
Yatoro still farming really well. It's no surprise that he's a bit above the Naga right now, because Naga tends to take some time to really get online.
Pushing a tier 1 on the bottom lane after your tier 1 has dropped already. This is very nice from Spirit. Very rarely do we see this kind of a move, but they're going to be opening up the map a little bit further and are going to have a bit more access points into the enemy triangle.
Yep. I think they could go for the tier 1. Mid as well soon.
They're coming. They want it. Hoof stomp again. Collapse. I don't. You just lied to me. I'm gonna go with that one. Collapse. He's missing every single stun, though that one probably wouldn't have mattered either. So maybe you're still right. But the mid lane tower, that's the opening that they wanted. There is no glyph. This is gonna be the 3rd tower in favor of Spirit.
Tundra is slowly losing more and more of the map. I think they just need some big plays from the Enigma, but this is such a difficult Enigma game.
You look at their positioning, they're just everywhere on the sidelines. They're just trying to fight there, and they will find the Morphling. That is a big one. You just wait for him to come over. You really don't expect your enemies to be there, but Tundra, this is their home now, and they're gonna get a kill on the Morphling.
Yeah, that's a big one. Luckily, it is still quite early in the game, so he is gonna respawn pretty quickly. But Tundra is gonna be able to put a lot of pressure on this top tier 1. I don't think that Spirit minds too much, but still, it's a nice little opening, and that's exactly the kind of thing that Tundra needs to do.
And Collapse is going to be jumping onto the Enigma here. They want 33 with a charge. Mira is going to steal the Malefice there, so 33 can't really go for the black hole, but Collapse is being charged. Now he can turn around. No, the double edge just in time. Had just enough damage there to bring it down, claim the gold, maybe get out to this one. But you guys, you can claim $15 in the banner down below. If you click it right now, you can see 3 times odds there in favor of Spirit. Yatoro get caught this time around. He's gonna be completely fine. Now he turns into a Naga. I can have illusions of my own, and they're going with a stampede. He's gonna go over the Tiny. He's been caught in a net. Rolling Thunder there on the other side. This greed might even cost him a Saxa kill. He's gonna get into the trees. The Swashbuckle misses. He's not gonna be going for a TP with a Tumbler Story juking around the trees. Ankles of the Spirit about to be broken. No, they're not gonna be following. They are done. Chase.
Yeah, they got a bit greedy there. They wanted both the Tiny and the Naga, but they ended up getting neither.
Shard Centaur very early on in the game. I'm not sure about it. Any thoughts?
Ooh, I'm not a big fan. It's percentage based, so I think it gets better when it's later in the game. But I guess they're already thinking about clearing Naga illusions. And I guess for that it could be pretty nice.
If it does work out, Spirit Breaker does have his Shadow Blade, so 9 now he can be surprising the Morphling out of that one. But the much bigger deal is that Tiny now has the Blink, so Saxa is a big initiation tool as well.
And it's not looking too bad for Tundra. They're behind 7 kills, but the goal is pretty much even.
That Orchid is, I think, gonna be a killing thing for Tundra. Once the Naga is able to get some solo kills, that is when it becomes harder for Spirit to play.
Laurel has a Yules, and I quite like that item decision. Cancels the charge, the black hole, gets rid of the net. You don't see it too often anymore on Pango, but I think it's very nice.
And it's a Spirit Breaker counter in a sense. You can remove his Bulldoze. While he has the Bulldoze, he doesn't really die to any of your spells. He just runs away. But if you Yule him, it is a completely different thing.
I wonder when Team Spirit is gonna go for Roche. Because they have a Pango and a Morphling, so they should be able to take it pretty quickly.
Without losing too much resources because of the lucky shot. There, Pango thinking about the Blink Dagger. He wants an Aghanim Scepter, but probably Blink is going to be the first on the menu. This is one of those games where you don't go for the Shard this early because you just have that Yules, and it should be enough. Enigma does have an early Shard. That's an interesting one from 33.
Yeah. I wonder why he picked this up.
More Eidolons to feed.
Win probability is favoring Tundra.
Oh, definitely is. I mean, this is the same type of game that we already saw Spirit there against Gaming Gladiators. So Tundra in this type of a lineup, they should be slightly better than Gaming Gladiators and definitely harder to read. They're gonna go for a smoke. Where are they gonna be gunning for? Or Mira.
They're gonna be killing Rubik first. Mira, can he escape? Nope.
Stampede not gonna be saving him, and Morphling wants to get out there, but he has been caught, he has been silenced, he's dead. Team Spirit, they lose too. There's the Orchid coming into play. And Yatoro doesn't have anything to save himself. Doesn't he have a Manta yet?
I think he does, but he didn't get to use it, or used it before that. I wanna get back to Enigma's Shard real quick. I was thinking about it, and it does make sense. You normally don't see it this early, but having tools other than just your black holes to play around, I think it's a good call here. I spoke about maybe getting something like Guardian Greaves into a Hex, but the Shard for Enigma in a lot of ways achieves similar things to the Hex. It's just more disable outside of your big ulti cooldowns.
And it is more split push, more map control, which Tundra are definitely gunning for with this lineup. So there's I guess multiple reasons. Saxa preparing with a smoke. Collapse is going for a Lotus Orb. He's not gonna have it for quite some time, but Team Spirit, they want to be striking back. They're going towards top.
Collapse. Is he gonna find someone here? 33 is in the jungle, but Yatoro gets caught as well.
He's gonna turn into the Tiny Avalanche Toss. He can do that as well. He doesn't have that much mana, so doesn't want to play around that one. There's the Toss, and he's going Tiny, the Avalanche as well. And Saxa almost saved there by the Song, but Skitter is not gonna be able to keep his teammate alive. At the end, the smoke from Spirit is gonna be a defensive one. Laurel now, he goes onto the Undying, snaking. Is he gonna be living to the name of his hero? Yes, he will. With a beautiful feint to the left and just moving to the right, he dodges Laurel and survives.
That was a beautiful sidestep. I think he was dead if he didn't do that.
Probably. I think so as well. Because there was a DD on the Pango, a couple of hits, swashbuckle, you're dead. But Pango is gonna have an Aghanim. He didn't go for a blink. Rolling Thunder is gonna be insane.
Yeah, he's doing so well in terms of net worth. Yatoro is struggling quite a bit on his Morphling, but Laurel, he is making up for it.
Definitely. But Yatoro, we very rarely see him on the 6th spot of the network chart. But you're playing against Tundra, your map is small. You don't know where to go, what to do, how to play. Just hard to read this Tundra lineup. They have 6 kills, and they're putting so much pressure that are shaking the boards. And look at that speed. He is coming through the Roche pit, and this is gonna reveal what the Spirit were going for. Roche now, it is gonna be a hard one to take.
Still going for it though. They know there is no song. They still have the global silence. Still gonna do this. And I don't think Tundra is gonna contest it. Look at their positions on the map.
Oh man, look at the Naga illusions as well. Just cutting the bottom wave, cutting the mid wave. They're farming everything. In Spirit, they're taking a long time to kill the Roche, and Tundra just does not give a damn. Take it, have 2 lives. We are gonna take everything from you. Tundra, we continue to split.
Wonder how Team Spirit is gonna approach this. They do have decent wave push, but this Naga is slowly becoming a big problem.
Tier 2 is gonna drop, collapse, is gonna be charged. 9 doesn't have that much mana, so he's not gonna be staying in, and this is a very, very tank hero. That's a BKB done on the Spirit Breaker, so 9, now he's a big problem.
Can die in a single stun though. If Collapse gets a good hoof stomp, isn't gonna find it here though. Yatoro barreling down this top lane. They wanna have that tier 2. They wanna get the outpost. They wanna have control of Tundra's jungle.
The bottom lane tier 2 was already taken. Tundra, they didn't manage to do that, so Team Spirit, oh, they go for the Morphling, not gonna be doing anything. Okay, they know that 96 is gonna be lifted up. They didn't use the bulldozer, and now with a stolen avalanche, he's dead. You said it. He just dies so easily, and now Mira, there's just so many people charging, have really strong foreheads, and are gonna be bringing down Saxa as well.
That's another one. Laurel finds the solo kill with his Arcane Rune and fresh Aghanim Scepter. All the farm in the world isn't gonna do anything if you can't use it to find kills and objectives.
For sure. Naga Siren, though, is approaching the heart. That is when the illusions become a problem. Team Spirit, they're gonna use their glyph, so they're not gonna be able to refresh that one anytime soon. They've already lost the tier 2. They're confident that they can defend their mid and top lane towers in the next 5 minutes easily, and that might actually be the case. But this top tier 2 for Tundra, it is gone.
Gets the Aegis. That's nice.
They're going for him with the Stampede. They want to trample all over this Tiny, but Saxa is fine. He's been charged by the Rubik, but now here comes the real charge. This is the guy who knows what's up. 9 going for Miposhka, who hasn't used a single global silence in this game. The Lotus Orb will be defending him, and now Saxa is still being charged there by the Rubik. I think Mira, you want to stop that one, and nope, he's still going forward. No, he will stop in the end. Tundra are not going to be baited into the fight. Team Spirit not going to be going forward either. No, they're the ones. They're not being baited. They're going forward. They want the Morphling. 9 is very fast. Going to be connecting onto him. Goes with the ulti. Another strike. Then he's dead. Global size a little bit too late there on the trigger. And the thing is, if you don't use it for 25 minutes, you're just not going to be ready.
Yeah, a really nice kill for Tundra. This is going to buy them so much space on the map. Yeah, that global silence just a little bit too late. That would have been huge if he lived there.
He just used it the second of the minute. And now there's gonna be bonus kills. Tundra, they're gonna start after 25 minutes of the game. They're not really getting all that many kills, but the map is theirs.
Yeah, they wouldn't have won TI if they couldn't deal with some early pressure. Skeeter has his heart up now. Gonna be working towards a Lincoln Sphere next. What is he trying to block with this? I guess the Morph?
Yeah, that's what you're gunning for. They're gonna get the silence onto Collapse, but he removes both the silence and the net there with the Lotus Orb. Still, the Centaur is a very hard beast to bring down. They still haven't managed to do it.
Collapse now working towards a BKB. It's gonna be a really nice option for him. Because as we can see, Skeeter is pretty quick with the Orchids. If he jumps in, he could just get silenced instantly.
He's constantly up there. He knows what's going his way. I really like the Lincolns. He's gonna make sure that the Morphling doesn't use the Aghanims on him, because when you use it on the illusion, it gets used on the real hero. And considering that he's gonna be on the other part of the map, it's gonna be very hard to break his Lincolns.
Mira still has the charge. It's always fun to see Rubik charging around. He is a little bit more vulnerable than the real Spirit Breaker, of course. Just a little bit.
Not that big of a problem. Look at him. Yeah. He looks like he's swimming through the air, and he's going for the real deal. Okay, now he's gonna stop. He understands this is a little bit too dangerous. 9. He is being targeted, but he is gonna be caught. He does go for the bulldoze, has the invis, has been dusted, but that's gonna be expiring fairly soon. Just a couple more seconds, and you don't see me any longer going in with the stampede. They get the stun. We know where you are. It doesn't matter. This time around, Collapse. He's gonna believe in his guts. He's gonna trust his guts, and this time around, it will be right. Not like it was with the Magnus in the series previous to.
I've been waiting with the double edge. But still, Tundra is out-farming Spirit by quite a margin. And look at the difference between Skeeter and Yatoro. That is problematic.
Yeah, to say the least. You were talking though. He has been caught. Now Yatoro going for him. He wants to go to sing a song. They will close his mouth. They're gonna shut him up for good. Skeeter finally falls. Collapse jumps in. He stuns the ground, but they see snaking. They see him clearly. Strong wind keeping him in place, and he should be a bonus going for a TP out. That's not gonna be happening, but the charge from Mira so good there to the side, goes towards the camp and just stops the TP out from snaking.
That was such a big kill and beautiful coordination by Spirit. Making sure that they get the silence. He already used his Manta, so no escape for Skeeter, and this is a huge kill. He gives up a lot of gold and XP. And this should be even more pressure on the map. He might even be able to do some good damage to the tier 2.
Yeah, when he's dead, you alleviate so much pressure off the map, because his illusions are the ones that are constantly keeping the waves on your side. In Spirit, they have found a way to kill him, they have found a way to catch him, and now they'll be able to push in the waves, putting them in a position where they could actually go for kills on the enemy side of the map.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard for him to regain the lane pressure, because he's gonna have to start sending out illusions from pretty close to base. So they're all gonna be close together, and it's a lot easier to deal with than if your lanes are pushed in and then you send illusions.
Looking at vision, both teams do have aggressive wards. If we look at it, all of them on the enemy side of the map. For Spirits, it's very hard to get to those, whereas Tundra, they push out the wave so easily. Nagasar and Lincoln's almost done. The Spirit Breaker working towards it as well. Both of these heroes that are great targets for the Morphling Aghanims, well, they're gonna have a way to defend against it.
And 33 is indeed going for the Hex that we suggested.
Okay.
I guess they were going for 9, but he got the charge away.
Mira still has the charge. He has the blink. He's very good at catching people. He's actually going for a BKB, so he's gonna have a BKB black hole, but the Lincolns doesn't want to go for it. Charge? Who used that one?
Hello there. Hello there.
9 and Laurel just chilling next to each other. They're like, hey man, how you doing?
Remember when we laned against each other? Yeah, that was like 20 minutes ago. But in Dota, that is ages ago. 9 though, does he get out of this one? He is also close to the sentry.
I think he'll probably get out. He has his BKB ready, right?
Yeah.
So no way to catch him.
No bash on the Pango just yet. I think that Pango bash actually changes so much. Black hole is just not gonna be as good. You're gonna be able to stop the charge sometimes. Naga illusions are gonna be in a lot of trouble against it. This is a big item that Laurel is gonna be making next.
You think we're gonna see a black hole in this game at all?
I don't know. 30 minutes in, we see one global silence, right? We haven't seen a single black hole. It is the only ultis that we're seeing are the Stampede and the Rolling Thunder. Even the song, we can't even hear the tune. So I think we're gonna see one. You know, even if Tundra are losing, they're gonna drop it onto the ground, and there it is. The BKB you mentioned, he's gonna be charging away, unstoppable.
Yeah, they don't have any way to cancel that just yet. Of course, Mira does have the charge for just a little bit longer. It is gonna expire, so no more fun Rubik's charging around, at least for now.
No more fun there for the Rubik. A little bit fun for the viewers to click on the banner below and get themselves in on the action with the $15 free bet if they're new on the BetBoom website. Meanwhile, Tundra, they're trying to make this game more fun for us and the viewers as well, going for a smoke and searching for a kill. It is going to be Collapse in the mid lane. It gets targeted. He's losing a ton of HP, and finally we're going to see him fall with ease there. Skitter gets the kill.
Yeah, that was the Hex reveal for 33. So even with the black hole, he is quite a threat on the map right now.
Sure. And he also has the quickening charm, so that Hex, the cooldown of it, it's not really that high.
Skeeter has a Lincoln Sphere as well. That's gonna be very nice. He's gonna go for a BKB next, and I like this decision. I know that a lot of Nagas, they never built BKB, they just built like Skadis, but this game it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, against the Pango, you just cannot play the game. You're just gonna be kept in place until you die from Rolling Thunder. But with that one, it's gonna be completely different. Yatoro, I think I saw he wants a Lincoln's as well. So that's gonna be an item from the charge. His biggest thing that they have to deal with here, Wingblade, is the lanes and Team Spirit. They haven't been able to find a good way to do so.
Roche is gonna spawn in 90 seconds, but right now it looks like Tundra has way better Roche control, but not for long. Team Spirit, they're gonna go for smoke.
They're tiptoeing, they have to be very silent. But Tundra, yeah, no one is gonna be seen on the map. We have 10 heroes smoking here. Let's see who's gonna be getting the engagement. There's a DB on the bottom lane. No one's gonna be fighting that one. Laurel, he starts it off with Rolling Thunder. We know where you are. So he's found the Nagasaran. She goes for the sleep there. That means that's gonna reset the fight, but no one is gonna be stopping Laurel. Can he bring anyone down? The Tiny is dropping low. Laurel is doing a ton of damage. Now he's gonna be slept as well. Tundra, they have the black hole still. Quick has been caused, looking very much dead, and now the black hole can be used. He does fly back. Nice shot there from Yatoro, going for the Enigma. Keeping him alive, but look at this. The other side, Skinner is just doing so much damage to the tree. Doesn't want to use the black hole just yet. He's gonna be charged up one more time. And Yatoro, he's going for the main hero there. No big black hole will be used in this fight. But here comes 9. You did kill our Enigma, but how do you deal with the rest of us? The answer is you don't. You die. Tundra are gonna be coming out ahead. Collapse. He is tanky. He has only died once in this game, but another death will follow, especially the charge coming through. He's not gonna be using a hoof stop. He's not gonna be using anything. Cause Skitter, he gets a triple kill, and Tundra, they finally find themselves a fight. They bring down 4 and force out 1 buyback.
It was such an awkward angle of engagement for Team Spirit. They had a hunch where Tundra was, but they had to run up the high ground. They didn't have vision. They went for a roll and it went okay, but all things considered, that was a way better position to fight in for Tundra.
You're going in blindly. That's what's gonna happen. But they felt like they had no choice. They felt like the map is just getting smaller, and now it's gonna get even more so with the Roche and the Shard going in Tundra's favor.
You can see in that fight as well that both the Rubik and the Silencer, they can't really play their game. Because they have to have Enigma in the back of their heads. Because they are the big tools to counter the black hole, and if they don't pay attention, we could still see a big black hole in this game.
Definitely, and there is gonna be a Shard on the Naga right now, making her slightly stronger as well. Tundra, as you mentioned, they still haven't used the black hole, but they're winning. They're 15k goal ahead. Who the hell needs their ultis? They're gonna be going on the Skitter, who still has 2 lives. He's gonna be tied in a net, but that is my own net. I know how to break 3. Collapse has the Lotus Orb. He's gonna be fine for now. 9 trying to go for the bashes. Nether Strike doesn't want to do it into a Lotus, but now a beautiful tune from Skitter that is bringing in death. The black hole is gonna be used now onto the target. Actually, he doesn't want it. I don't need to use it. You are not worth my ultimate. The Fango trying to do damage to Yatoro. He has to wait for him out to survive. With his Stampede, he's gonna try to run away from the back. Will keep him in place. Yatoro still alive. Gets himself out. No one has died so far. Everyone is still living.
Yeah, and look at the Silencer's position as well. Every single fight, he's like 3 screens away because he knows if he dies, you give a black hole to Tundra.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's
He
courier
didn't want to
has
use the
been
black hole there, not even to force out the global silence or whatever. He's afraid of the stolen black hole. 33. It would be so cool if he didn't even skill it up. Now when he has it skilled up, I'm always being hyped up. Okay, sleep into a black hole, sleep into a black hole. He's gonna go for it. But no, he just doesn't want to. And this is the thing. This is what is one of the main Tundra strengths. They are so focused on the goal, on the game, and it's just to hold your ground and you will win.
Yeah, they're definitely not lacking patience.
Collapse. He removes everything, but the charge is still coming through. It's coming over. We're gonna stop. He didn't blink himself out. That was an attempted toss back from Saksa, but just in time, Collapse is out.
And Skeeter now going for a Hex as well. They recognize they don't really need more damage on this Naga. Just more tools to catch Yatoro. He's the only real big threat in these fights. Well, aside from Laurel.
Toro is gonna be doubled up in terms of net worth here. He's really having a bad game. Both him and Collapse are very underfarmed. And comparing them to the Naga, there's nothing to compare to. She is years, light years ahead of them here right now. It is just insane how much of a time Yatoro needs to get on that level.
Ooh, clutch TP there.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Skeeter, he has his Scythe of Vice finished.
Was also a clutch courier save because he used the immunity on the courier. If he didn't, that would be a hex lost for the next 3 minutes.
33. He has his Octarine, so he's like, time for a Midas. If this goes late, I want all of the money.
He has to be screwing around, right? Is he serious? Tell me he's not serious.
It wouldn't surprise me with 33.
Usually people are like, am I gonna get the Midas in time so that it pays off 37 minutes in? Like, am I gonna buy Midas now or as my 5th item? That is what he's gunning for.
I mean, I think it's probably more likely that he switches up and buys a BKB, but I said it before, Tundra is very hard to analyze.
I think he's sticking with it. Blade is actually going to farm. Guys, wait. I need my Midas. We cannot continue this one. Like, looking at Enigma's talents, is there like a big one that you want for which you are you're at least needing experience, maybe?
I don't even think so.
No.
I mean, having some extra Malefice instances or like stronger Eidolons could be pretty nice.
Radiant
I don't know. I don't think the Eidolon talents are super good this game because Pango can clear them out so easily.
Yeah, well, nice and roll to the enemy Skidder. He has found a silencer and they do have the lift to keep him away. With the Rolling Thunder, they're gonna be able to save their silencer, and Laurel is gonna show how strong he can be, but he can't do much. He has to roll away. Nagasarn already uses the sleep there and he gets himself to the high ground.
That's slowing down for 70 seconds, but still ages
Lincoln's
for 30, so Team Spirit doesn't want to fight here. Taking down the Naga once is hard enough.
They broke Lincoln's. I thought Yatoro was going to be going into to the illusion just to turn into a Naga. There's an Aghanims and a and the Spirit Breaker now is a problem, right? He is a big issue. He also has the Timeless Relic, so the stuns from him are going to be insane.
Yeah, and he has the level 20 as well, so he's so fast. Insane.
Hex. Another strike. That is your tankiest hero, and he's gone. Collapse, he cannot survive, and now 9 goes forward yet again. The tree will be flying through, but Tundra, they don't want to be fighting. They just want to continue the same disciplined gameplay that has worked for them thus far.
Collapse, he doesn't have buyback, so Tundra, they have a 50-second opening, but knowing them, they might as well just wait for next Roach. They could deal some damage, but I don't think they're really gonna commit any heroes.
I think there's very low reasons to, because you need to make this Midas on the Enigma pay off, because he did go through with it. So, you know, really, Tundra, don't end the game right now. You need to be making that Midas work. Let's see the flip was used. They don't have the central. Morphling is gonna be caught. Then the charge is there. This Morphling is looking very much dead and he's gone. Let's have the buyback. Laurel is going through. He's doing absolutely no damage to Skitter. Maybe he can do something to Saksa. They're gonna go in with the nether strike. He's gonna be pushed back and it seems like the ball will pop. No, actually he's gonna be slept there. He's going for a nap. He needs to rest, but Team Spirit, they're gonna be going to rest after this game number 1 as the losers of this first game on the Festival 5 Grand Final. They're being destroyed. There's it is. It is Pastanza caught and immediately the Black Hole gets cancelled out. So we didn't see a 2-second Black Hole. Actually, they're losing 2 heroes, but can he kill Skitter? He's 9. This is how thought. Skitter starts running away. So Yatoro is going to be chasing forward into the rocks. The Avalanche stops him. Wants to be turning around. He still does have that through those man cards to remove the silence. Now going in again. They'll get the Yules. They're trying to kill him and they will finish him off. You haven't taken Rax and Tundra. You haven't taken anything and we will take your lives and stay in this game. I spoke too soon there. Wingblade Spirit are still not out.
2 buybacks used though for the big cores for Team Spirit. But can't they get anything of this? There is still a tier 2 on mid lane, but they have a Morphling, so they should be able to push really quickly. But is it gonna be fast enough? That's the question.
It's coming for you. Let's see, Tundra. They're gonna be back in around 30 seconds. They're gonna have 2 of their heroes back, but the Naga definitely doesn't want to be using this buyback. That would be a big hit to their economy. Look at top lane. Laurel's already there. Blip was used. That tier 3 should be going down.
They're gonna run to the tier 3 top. They should be able to take this down really quickly. No backdoor protection just yet, so this is just gonna be a set of racks for Team Spirit. I don't think it's super consequential because Tundra has great lane pushing, but it's nice nonetheless.
They use the career to pull the creeps a little bit back, but it doesn't matter. Yatoro has so much damage that he'll go for the backdoor protection and creeps. They finally do arrive. Tundra, they're gonna be losing a lane of racks. They're the first ones to lose it here, Wingblade. And this is a big deal because Team Spirit, they're gonna alleviate so much pressure with this top lane going down.
And it's gonna be a long Roche. It would have been so nice for Spirit if it respawned instantly and they could take it, but no such luck. And I still think Tundra is in a commanding position this game.
Yeah. But one more overextension like that, and you could be out of the game. So Tundra, they're gonna have to think twice before they once again go for a move like that. Their gold lead is gonna be reducing. They're gonna be a racks behind, but they're still controlling the map better than Spirit.
And Laurel now going for a Gleipnir, and that item is really strong against Naga, because obviously illusions can't buy BKB.
Level 25 on Laurel. Is that the cooldown of the Rolling Thunder?
Most likely, I would say so. Team Spirit, 5-man smoke. They don't know when Roche is gonna spawn like we do. They wanna secure this area. Look at the illusions, just look at the minimap.
Spirit, even with the lane of racks ahead, they're still not favored to win this one. Still doubled up in the odds there. Tundra still favored, but definitely much more afraid than they were just a second ago when they were diving. The tier 4s just pushing Spirit into their fountain. Look at 9, what he does. Stampede, you're not faster than him. 11,000 movement speed. You are not even close.
Yeah, they really wanted to find something there because they know they're slowly gonna lose control of this map. Collapse.
Centaur?
He almost has his BKB, that's nice at least. But he also wants to
He has
save
to
for a
have a
buyback.
hammer. Has to have a hammer, and considering he has a shard, at some point that hammer could do like an overwhelming amount of damage, especially once he gets the overwhelming blink. But he does go for a BKB first. At Tundra, they're going for a smoke. Finally, they're the ones searching for something.
Ooh, if they find Mira, that's huge.
That's a big one, and BKB immediately from 9. Global Science does come out. He's going to be breaking that link as a Yatoro. He does turn into him. He does have a bulldoze on him, so very hard to stun. And they will try to finish off 9. He's very close to dying, and in the end, he'll die to the hoof stop. Now, Yatoro is going to be turning around onto Saxa, but the sleep is keeping them safe. Tundra, they want to reset. They want to get out, and they'll be able to.
Global Silence was used, so 33 could have an opportunity to go for a black hole a bit later on.
Snaking here, I'm feeling super bad about that one. Laurel, that's 2 hits, you get the bash, it was 50%. Snaking should have lived.
Yeah, feels bad. But hey, that's Dota sometimes, and Roche is up now. This is huge for Team Spirits. Their lane is in an acceptable position. They should be killing this pretty fast. The one downside is they don't have a Rubik, and they don't have a silencer with global silence ready.
They might not have Collapse either. Look at what Skitter is doing to him. But Collapse, he should be surviving. There's 2 hexes that he's gonna be living through, but the Malefice just keeps in place. There's 2 buybacks. Tundra, they're not giving away the Roche. Too big of an objective to just let go of. And Spirit, without their Centaur, he probably cannot defend this. It is a refresher shard. So finally, we might see a decent black hole.
Yeah, just waste the first one and then go for the second. This could be double BKB for 9 as well, which wouldn't be bad, but it's just too juicy not to give it to the Enigma.
Let's see what they do. The Roche is being overwhelmed by units. They pretty much came and raided this Roshan like a 25-man raid in World of Warcraft. Just take him down. The cheese is gonna be on the ground. Tundra, they seem to not want it and not need it.
Yeah, cheese gets better with age, right? Just let it ripen for a bit longer and Staking picks it up. He doesn't like the stanky cheeses.
Okay, guys, if you listen to Wingblade, you might get a stomachache, so I would maybe advise against it. There are some types of cheeses. I don't know if this one is in that category, but either way, the 22,000 gold lead for Tundra, they're still holding it here, and the refresher is in the hands of the Enigma.
9 approaching his level 25. Always nice to get. Same for Yatoro though. And we're once again going into a late game.
Yeah, we definitely are. It's very hard to end the game when you're playing against such good players, as we mentioned, the previous TI winners and the current ones, just showing us what Dota is all about. The sneak peek, what's gonna be happening at the major, but this is just as good. Tundra and Spirit. Still don't know who's going to be taking this game. It is Tundra that are controlling everything currently, that are controlling the lanes, but we already saw once that one overextension, one big mistake could lead into a disaster.
Yeah, 3 more minutes on the Aegis. It doesn't look like Tundra is really in a rush.
The Midas is paying off, I'd say. He is getting the gold, he's getting the experience, he's approaching level 25, 9, he's approaching level 25 as well. It's probably going to be the 800 HP, right?
I think so. He's getting an AC next. Still quite far away though.
They're washed up, well, not so sure. Not so sure, no washed up players here. All of them at the primes of their careers. Tundra still here farming.
Oh,
waiting
took the
for
damage.
tier 5 items. Like, oh, he went for the badge. I guess that makes sense because he's so fast. 1100 movement speed. The badge damage is a percentage of your movement speed. So he's really going to be hurting people, especially with the Timeless Relic.
It sucks. It has an overwhelming blink and Ultramarine core. Okay, he's pretty fat as well. Would like to see him get an Agadins at some point, but I feel like he has plenty of time to farm it up somewhere.
Naga, bots too. He wants to go for an Aghanim Scepter there. Does make a lot of sense. The real in will be there, though the real in isn't really the big part of that one. Is that you can use your net through the BKB. We'll see if the real in does come into play there. If he does finish that one off, Morphling does go for the minus 40% waveform cooldown. So he's gonna be using that a lot more in fights.
It's worth noting as well that Skeeter on this Naga has 900 CS. It's not bad.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. 49 minutes in. What the hell? What the hell, Wingblade?
Yeah, this is truly something else. He is 8 slotted at 49 minutes.
Oh my god. He doesn't have his actives. Okay, he doesn't have the actives. Let's see. Charge will get used, and they're losing their Spirit Breaker, but he still has the Aegis, so even if he dies, it's not gonna be a problem. Mira still has that BKB. It's keeping him alive. He's very fast with a Stampede. Here comes Argentina threatening with the Black Hole. He's not gonna be using it. No one is dead just yet. He only lost the Aegis, but maybe Saxa might be going down to the BKB of Collapse. They want to take him down. Will be able to. But he lost the Silencer. They don't have it. He does have the Refresher, but he won't be able to use it. You need it to be in your fountain. What are you doing now? You could be dealing with a Black Hole.
He doesn't
It's
have
gonna be
buyback.
1 for 1 for now.
Only one on Spirit who doesn't have buyback. It's arguably the most important one.
33 doesn't know it, so he's not really gonna use his ulti, right?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Might as well not use it. You've gotten a 26k gold lead without using it once, so why would you change that now?
Where did the refresher go?
I haven't seen anyone
gonna
use
say
it.
Maybe the Spirit Breaker did. I don't know. Or maybe 33 used it for a Midas. You know, the funny thing is, it wouldn't surprise me. It actually wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I don't know where they used it.
9 doesn't have an Aegis now. So it's gonna be at least another 3 minutes for the next Roche. So that means another 3 minutes without another kill, right?
Yep, and we are gonna be here until tomorrow, but it doesn't matter because we're watching Great Dota. Win probability only 1% for Tundra before the ideal one, and 32% there on Team Spirit. But Yatoro, he is coming back into this game. We're talking about his net worth being pretty low. It probably is still compared to the Naga Siren, but he is 5 slotted. He only needs to replace his trusty Falcon Blade.
It's worth noting though that Tundra, they have an Enigma, they have a Naga, they're leading by 30k, and they only have a 68% win chance according to the Dota Plus assistant.
They're racks behind, which means absolutely nothing against them because the lane is next to Spirit base, but they will go for a smoke from a good position, and this might be fast enough to catch someone.
We have an overwhelming blink on Collapse now as well. Let's see if they can find someone. Skeeter is quite close, and that would be a huge kill.
See if they can get it. They're gonna go for Saxa, but he misses the hoof stomp. Still, they're gonna be slowing him down with the overwhelming blink, and they bring him down. The charge comes in. It's gonna be stopping the roll. Laurel is gonna be losing that one fairly soon, and he gets netted there. He has to remove it. Does that heals, but he gets X'd up. He needs some help. The Lotus Orb will help him prevent that blood flow from destroying him. Rubik becomes low, and he will need to buy back. He wants to be a part of that fight. He is in his base. Where's the silencer? He needs to keep himself safe. And now, 9 going forward. 4 more. Roll up in a ball. Curl up in a ball. And let us absolutely demolish you. Collapse is going to be tossed in. He's going to try to save his buddy there. Another buyback needs to be used. Yatoro is going to be charging forward. He wants to kill the Enigma, but she is too tanky. 33 is going to be surviving because he doesn't want to go for the ulti. And finally, the silencer is dead. So he can use his black hole if he wants to. No buyback on the silencer, but Tundra, they don't have that info. Going for the Centauri. Has the Lotus Orb to remove the silencer. Now he's going to be tossed back in. The Avalanche can be in place, but they're going for Laurel again. He didn't fly back into this fight. He cannot die once more. But they're not even focusing on him. They're focusing on Collapse, who does not have a buyback for 1,600 gold. That is what he's missing. They found the Morphling. He does have a buyback. This is not looking good for D-Spirit. He's going to wait for him to the high ground. And the Blade Fish keeping in place. They have another Rolling Thunder. But Laurel, he cannot move an inch because of the net. Tundra, they're coming forward. They finally had enough. And they want to end this one. Saxa, he's going to be finding the Rubik buyback and a dieback there. He's going to be 3 heroes dead on Spirit. And 2 versus 5. They cannot fight.
They don't even need the black hole. Every time I'm sure that 33 is gonna use it, they just don't need it. And the heroes fall anyway. Finally, they get some building damage in for Tundra.
I don't know how you prevent yourself from doing it. Like, I'm not sure, but he definitely doesn't need it. The only time he used it, they lost the fight. So he knows, he was like, this spell, it is not good for us. Undying, level 25. He now has the Reincarnation as well as the Tombstone on death. This is looking very much over. Team Spirit, they're not calling GG. They want to fight on the bottom lane, but they're losing everything. Okay, that's more focus. Is probably going to be going down. He did get the shift off, but in the end, it will be dying to the damage of the Bloodthorn. Does have a buyback. Spirit, do you really think that there's anything left in this game for you? Yatoro does believe he's going to be buying back. Twinblade, is this enough?
I don't think so. They're gonna try for one more fight. BKB is popped by Yatoro, but Tundra, they just don't care.
They don't care. And the final move from 9 going in, showing them who's the boss. There's going to be a stun for Collapse. You promise it's going to be a 4-man one. It's not going to change a damn thing. Obviously, BKB not going to be using the black hole. And now with the Stampede, they are finding their opening. And T-Spirit staying this game. This is Mega Creeps for Tundra. But T-Spirit, they're not giving up. We're at least going to make you tired here. So you did play series before this one. So Spirit, I'm not sure you want to be doing it. They're going to be killing the Undying twice and destroying the Tombstone, the memory of him as well. Tundra, they get Mega Creeps, but they don't finish the game.
Collapse running around with 8,000 HP with the double-edged stacks. Yeah, they get 2 kills, but it doesn't really matter. They have buyback. They just got mega. They can't really push out the lanes against these Naga illusions. They need a miracle.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, but he is currently out of professional Dota, so it's gonna be a little bit tougher. Yatoro, that is gonna be a miss there on the waveform, but he does find the road. That is a big objective that at least Team Spirit will be able to claim. Maybe.
Gonna be able to take it fairly quickly. And there is no song for Tundra just yet.
Now there is. Now there is. He is gonna get his voice back. Saksa goes in. Mipashka dropping low. Mipashka does have a buyback. He's not gonna be using it. The buybacks from Tundra. They're coming in. It's gonna be an opening for Team Spirit. BKB from Yatoro. He's a big tiny. He has turned himself into a mountain, but back to a wave. He is gonna be hexed up here in the river. But the Stampede will keep him away. 9 not gonna be charging through all of them. Saksa misses the avalanche. A lot of spells just being whipped. Tundra, they use 2 buybacks, but Spirit, they have to go back to the base. This shows it's gonna be in favor of Tundra.
It's just the Silencer who has a buyback. Any kill in favor of Tundra is most likely gonna be permanent, and that's another Aghanim Scepter for someone. Could be going to Tiny, could be going to Undying. It's looking really rough for Spirit.
I want to see it on the Undying, but it is going to be a tiny because it would be cool to see a big Undying, you know, huge one going around, but they're not going to be giving into snaking. You're level 25, you're good enough, you have all of your items, you're very hard to kill, as is every hero in this game apart from the Rubicon Silencer. I'm looking at the other 8 heroes, you need so much to bring any of them down.
And 33, he's gonna have his Arcane Blink now as well, so that's an even longer hex.
He does have a refresher there for the Midas. And maybe now with the Arcane Blink, we're gonna be seeing a black hole. You know, fast hands and stuff like that, but one can only hope. He's not bringing darkness to Team Spirit, he's bringing death.
Skeeter with a casual 18,000 gold in his bank. That's more than the net worth for some of the Team Spirit heroes.
Yeah, for sure. And he's not buying moon shards for his teammates.
So
it's,
selfish. I wonder what his buyback cost is at this point.
7? Probably around 7. That too much?
I think that's maybe a bit much, but it's gonna be close.
Yeah, like it's 6.8. That's a little bit too much. Yeah, either way though, Tundra, they're in front of the enemy base. Yeah, guys, let's not rush this. We haven't won just yet. We have to take it slow and methodically. Do you think that's what their communication is like currently?
I think. They're probably clowning around a bit as well.
Hope they are. Hope they are. This seem like a very serious team. That's gonna be hacks onto Yatoro. He doesn't get his morph off. They need to save him. They need to save him now, and they will. He's gonna be surviving through all this, and you're seeing the Piggy running forward. They bring down the Enigma. Yatoro is standing his ground. Let's go, Tundra. You versus me. They don't manage to bring him down, but Skeeter is gonna be going for a song there and saving his teammates. The 2 guys don't have buyback. Who's gonna be saving the throne? It gets slow, but it will get defended by Team Spirit. Team fight is gonna go for the Radiant side, but the game almost was dire.
I have no idea how Yatoro survived there. That was huge. And slowly but surely, Team Spirit's buybacks are coming back.
A chance?
Perhaps, but look at the Radiant base. There are like no buildings left.
Nothing. You are, it's like you've just bought a home and haven't been able to put anything in though. Rather, it's you had a beautiful home, but some raiders came in and destroyed everything. That stun from Collapse, it saved him so much. Yatoro, he would have been so dead if Collapse wasn't such a genius.
It was a beautiful stun and then followed up by the Pangolier Rolling Thunder as well. I mean, that's what they need to do to win these fights. They need insane execution.
Middle tower has fallen.
He wants a rapier. Morphling wants a rapier. He doesn't have a crit though, so that is something I don't like. I would have preferred the Daedalus. Sometimes it can be more damage, especially with the waveform attacks targets. Overall, it is fine. It is going to be a lot of damage, and maybe Yatoro does have the capability to bring victory to his team. 60-minute coming. Tier 5 items are going to be on the menu.
Collapse is so painful. It's ridiculous.
I only has 5,000 HP. They're gonna be going for 9. 9 is looking very much dead, but he does have the Aegis. He's gonna have more and more life. There's a Tombstone. There's gonna be a zombie apocalypse. If you don't get out of this one, and Team Spirit, they don't want to stay.
He can't really get much bigger at this point, and I feel like in fights he barely does anything at all. It's all about the Undying with his triple Tombstone, and even the Midnight Pulse is a lot of damage in the late game against these high HP heroes.
Morphling has a Mirror Shield. That's gonna be a big one for sure.
Ooh, that's nice. That's exactly
is it
the
8
item you
second
want.
cooldown?
Yeah, I think so.
It's Lotus and the Lincolns in one. Oh, Tundra, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble. They might be hexing themselves instead of hexing this Morphling. So initiating on him is gonna be much tougher though. On the side, we're gonna be seeing a Book of the Dead. So we are seeing the return of the Necronomicons.
I just have no idea how Tundra is gonna be able to break this base. Fortification is up as well, but they need some kind of huge fight. And Team Spirit is all gonna have their buybacks again. So even if they were to get an Aegis, it's gonna be very hard to push in. I don't know what's up with Team Spirit today, but they keep giving us these amazing games.
Look at the huge Naga. Look at the illusions they're coming in. Okay, this is some Attack on Titan thing coming out from Tundra, and there are just way too many of them. They're going over cliffs. They're impossible to deal with. Skitter is not giving it to anyone else. This is so fun to watch.
Guys, don't give up.
It's so nice to have illusions with cliff walking. I'm not sure if the trample effect works on illusions. That would be pretty big.
I think it is. I just saw there, you know, having like an effect of the radiance. Probably isn't gonna let we don't know now. We need to be looking at the creeps because collapse isn't really someone that we can make our decision on. I think Tundra need to force out the glyph and then go again.
Ooh, okay, the win probability shifted slightly.
Let's look now. It's not doing damage.
I see. So it's just visual then. Still, the cliff walking and extra tankiness on illusions is really nice.
This reminds me of X-Hero Siege, you know? There's always a boss at a cliff or at the stairs just standing there, and he's sending those illusions. They're standing in front, and Team Spirit, they need to do everything to defend this one building and start moving forward. That is how this game looks currently.
So, what would Spirit need to do to win this game? What would need to happen?
Okay, first of all, it has to be Tundra that goes forward that makes a mistake, right? It has to be a couple of times. I think just the easy answer would be like, yeah, you kill Tundra, you force out the buybacks, and then you kill him again. But how do you get to that point? I think you're gonna be needing some Silver Edges, some Shadow Blades, and Hexes to be able to go out on the map and actually get kills. I think that's the like most obvious approach, and a couple of bots too.
What about Yatoro getting like a Desolator and going for a backdoor play to even up the megas?
He can't do it because there's a tier 2 on the bottom lane.
But you can backdoor that one, right? With
Yeah,
Morphling?
true. You have the double Lincolns, so I guess the charge isn't that big of a problem for you. But how do you get across the map?
Yeah, that's the next question. Maybe like, do they still have a ninja gear? Or didn't they get that one?
I think he does. Yeah, I'm all for it. Go for a smoke and move like that. The thing is, it's too hard. I would go for a get the Helm of the Dominator, smoke the creep, send him somewhere into the jungle. That could be a play.
That's not a bad call actually. However, against an Enigma, if he hits level 30 and has both of the Eidolon talent, I think the Eidolons alone are gonna push faster than a Rapier Morphling. That damage is insane. It's almost unmatched in terms of pushing speed.
Yeah, I feel like that only catches you off guard once, right? And then you have to choose. Are you gonna try to get the mid lane of Rax there and hope that you're gonna get to like 120 minutes of the game where the super creeps are gonna be stronger than megas? Or do you go for a tier 2 and hope that you're gonna be getting another go at the enemy base? It's hard.
Also, it's worth noting that 33's Midas is totally paying off. He bought it at like 30 minutes.
Is definitely the case. Looking at the items here, the tier 5s, anything that really comes to mind is the big one. I think the mirror shield on the Morphling is the top one for me.
Yeah, I agree. Getting him in the Hex is like the way they've been. Ooh, Black Hole. The first one.
Global Silence, but he did cancel the TP, so Lyle is dead, you know? Like it or not, he's gone, and they have the Seer Stone there to see exactly where he is. No, he's surviving. No way, Laurel. No, you're gonna be taken down by 9 way too fast in the Spirit Break and just bonks him and finishes him off.
That was really close, actually. He even had the... %25 damage reduction. It's insane how tanky a Pango is in the middle of an enemy team.
Nice. That damage for supports. Just pop the BKB. They're in the base, giving PTSD to all the support players. Now the Tombstone is gonna be placed. They get the Hex onto the Centaur, and the Tombstone was stolen as well. So there's gonna be a lot of zombies there, putting tribute to the new series, The Last of Us here. Let's see who's gonna be getting infected. No one. Tundra, they go back. They're gonna be waiting for the 5th Roche, because why the hell not?
It's so hard to see what's happening in these fights. Just HP bars everywhere. Tundra, they did force out the buyback from Laurel. That's pretty big.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But that means that you have to end the game in the next 8 minutes, which, with the current pace of things here, Wingblade, it might not happen. We are 66 minutes into the game. It has been mega creeps there for at least 10 minutes now. Team Spirit, they're not budging, and Tundra, they're not pressuring all that much. They continue to send in these illusions that are giving solid amounts of gold there to Team Spirit, and we are still staying. This is only game number 1, and this grand finals is already amazing.
I wonder what Skeeter can replace potentially. He could maybe replace his BKB with an Octarine just for like split pushing outside of fights and then swap it in when it's needed.
Yeah, I get it. And I would be okay with that one. Anything else? Butterfly, maybe? Also instead of that one, just to make the illusion stronger.
Could be nice for like a surprise before they buy BKBs, MKBs. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, he's gonna need his courier close by with like another alternative set of 4 items to swap it out on demand.
Oh, Aghanims on collapse. We're gonna have a hitch a ride, so the Morphling is gonna be going around. He gets extra range as well, right? In the cart.
So yeah.
Now, Ex Machina Centaur has found that one. I don't know if he picked it up. Gonna be caught. He doesn't have the Lotus, so they can protect him. They go for the ulti. They're trying to kill out. He doesn't have a buyback. That is the problem. Have they found an opening, Tundra? And now the song. You're gonna be listening to the tunes of death. Skeeter killing his teammates and killing the enemies.
Throne?
Now they go for the throne. The flip will have to come out. Mira gets low. The Fallen Sky not gonna be connected on him. He doesn't have a BKB. They're focusing on the throne. There's no more glyph. It's gonna be a problem. The black hole gonna be used immediately canceled out. He does have a refresher, but he's gonna be going down. Does have a buyback, but look at the throne. You don't have a glyph. You have nothing to defend it with. And he's gonna try to do everything. Yatoro is standing his ground. He's fighting. He's in the cart, but it doesn't matter. It's not about the cart. The game is about the throne. Defense of the Ancients. Team Spirit, they're not gonna be successful at saving their base. And game 1 does go to Tundra.
My goodness, so much patience from Tundra, but it pays off, right? Like, they didn't slip up. We spoke about what Team Spirit needed to do to win, and it was for Tundra to make a mistake, and they didn't make any, not significant ones at least. They took their time, they waited for yet another Roche, they slowly whittled down the base, and just one final fight was all it took. You can maybe defend your heroes, but the throne, you can't Glimmer or Lotus Orb your throne. It's just gonna die at some point.
The second that Laurel died, I thought, okay, this is over now, because he's the one that is defending the throne. Actually, he's the one that is killing the creeps. He is the one that is disarming everyone. And when he is dead, it's just so easy to focus on it. And that is exactly what they do. That catch on Laurel on the top lane, it It actually was the main thing here at the later portions of the game to end it. I don't know who I'd give the MVP to, but Skitter, fine. He was topping the network chart for the entirety of the game. And yeah, let's put it that way. His hero is the one that always made it super hard for Team Spirit to play their game.
I think it's also very impressive that he managed to get this farmed, because Team Spirit was putting on a lot of pressure at the start and he only died twice.
I feel like it's either a stun or the acid spray, right? Especially against the Enigma. If you would do that one, you would just shoot yourself in the foot.
I guess that's fair enough. Collapse. No mangoes just yet. Just a lot of branches.
Are you liking the mango meta overall?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a bit degenerate, but it's fun, right?
Yeah, next. Oh, he actually goes for the stun. Yatoro wants to go for Skitter. And this is a tanky hero, but he doesn't have that much armor. They're gonna stun him. This is a first blood, and they're gonna try to give it to Laurel, but Mira, like a good Rubik, says no. Doesn't even need to use the Fade Bolt. He just goes with the right click.
I mean, Alchemist isn't meta, but I still remember just how strong his level 1 stun is. It's like one of the longest duration, highest damage stuns in the game, if you can get it off. I believe the first level is maximum damage of 150, stun duration of almost 2 seconds. It's really good.
Definitely, but you can stun yourself though, so we'll see how it goes there. I think that first blood, it's not that big of a deal because the Rubik got it, Laurel didn't, and also you skilled up the stun on the Alchemist. It is a strong spell, but not the best one that you want to have against the Enigma. Laurel, he's being bullied here by 9 a bit. We all forgot just how powerful Delina can be in the mid lane. She pretty much is going to be doing well for now.
Yeah, I think this matchup is fairly even. Both of them can spam their spells, and I wouldn't expect to see any kills.
Mira, he pulls for Tundra there. Snaking is going to be very happy about it, but Mars, he is farming quite nicely. The lane will be in a good position for him, so overall it is going to be fine on the top lane. Looking in the mid lane, should the Lina come out ahead? It should, right?
I don't think so. I think it's even. We're very similar heroes, at least in the lane. They're gonna be using their stuns to secure creeps. They have pretty much even base armor and damage, so it's a really like skill dependent matchup.
So I was casting a Southeast Asia game where Alina went. Actually, it was eHome, but it wasn't. They were playing against the Southeast Asia team. Where Lina went for the right click build in the mid lane. So 1-1-3 was the build on level 5. Is that something that you would like to see?
I think so, yeah. The passive is just too broken. It's a free double moonshot. And as a mid with the bottle, most likely you're gonna have enough mana to keep it up. It's just too efficient not to take it. Even if you do want to go for a spellcaster build, I feel like the passive is just simply too strong.
Spirit are gonna win here. Yatoro has 100% win rate on the Alchemist, so it's over for Tundra. They just can't win though. To be honest, they did beat the Collapse Centaur, who had like 77% a win probability there, but you know, 77 and 100, it's not the same.
True. Men lie, women lie, but stats don't lie. And Saxa, he's playing against the double melee lane. We haven't spoken about this yet, but Monkey King in this game, as a support, can actually do a ton of work.
Yeah, he's just smacking them. Let's go, smack onto Yatoro. He's gonna be getting a lot of denies when he gets the Jingus, and now with the Boundless Strike, he's really doing a solid amount of damage. And Monkey King is not that hero any longer who doesn't have a lot of armor, so he can stay inside of the Acid Spray. Now he gets away, but another Jingu mastery on him is gonna be making sure that Yatoro has a bad time in terms of creeps.
Miposhka, he's running around with full HP and he living armored himself. I feel bad for Yatoro.
Yeah, well, you're useless, Yatoro. You're not gonna be doing anything. The lanes are going amazingly well for Tundra, though. They're doing well in all 3 of their lanes, especially the Enigma one. 13 denies, and Yatoro only has 10 CS. Some stacks are gonna be needed.
Yeah, really nice start for Tundra.
The lanes. Usually Tundra, they're solid in lanes. They understand the matchups quite nicely. So we mentioned these guys, they practice a lot. They're very disciplined, and it is showing here in the laning phase. It showed even more in the previous one, but overall, this is just a amazing start. Despite the first blood, they're still in favor in terms of net worth, and Yatoro, he can't get any creeps.
Yeah, 33 has 14 denies at 4 minutes. That's like almost half of the creeps.
How does this change? I mean, the current situation on the map where Spirits are losing the lanes. Okay, Collapse is gonna get the spear onto the Phoenix. The Snaking should be living there. No, the hit! He does have the Fairy Fire there under the tower. Will have enough armor to survive. And Poshka dies on the bottom lane. And Yatoro, without his support, he's gonna be in an even more uncomfortable position.
This is just really rough, and I don't feel like it's gonna get much better for Yatoro in the bottom lane. He just needs to get a few levels, get his Ring of Basilius for some mana regen, and then retreat into the jungle, like Skeeter did last game.
That is probably going to be the case. Shutting down the Alchemist might not be the biggest problem, considering that he does come back fairly easily. But when it comes to rotations, it's going to be very hard for Spirit to do much. They do have the Lesh. I'm guessing he's going to be having to do a lot of the heavy lifting here.
I think so too. And as expected, both of the mids are really close in terms of few more denies, but it's really close.
It definitely is there, but that's actually nice for the mid lane, because I expected the Lina to do better, but it's not gonna be happening here. Yatoro finally getting himself a little bit in terms of CS, but now he's being slapped by a level 2 Jingu mastering. He actually might go down with the living armor. It is gonna be hard to go through all of that, but Saksa at least wants another stack of Jingu. This time he's not gonna be getting it.
33 is quite low, so he needs to be a little bit careful. He should be fine.
Nine
is
has been
maxing
caught. He
his
gets the
Q.
stun onto the right hero, but a couple of more hits. He does have the sticks. They need 2 more. He's gonna be running away. He's very fast with the 7 charges there on his Fiery Soul, but that's gonna be expiring fairly soon. He can reuse it on the Roche if he wants to TP at the ready. Hides in the trees, goes away. Mira won't be there in time.
Ooh, that was so close. But 9 makes it out. Space created.
If he hadn't done everything perfectly there, he's dead. If he had stunned the Rubik, he just dies to the Lesh, but he knew which hero he needed to focus on to have the best chance of surviving, and in the end he does. It will give a little bit of time to the Lesh to get ahead of the Lina, but overall not that big of a deal. Yatoro now surrounded by so many Eidolons, will be slapped to death, and Miposhka, the only thing he can do is hide in the trees as Tundra continue to dominate this bottom lane completely. It's not looking good here, and we have 2 Linas here. Yep, Observer is going to be showing that one to us as our viewers are clicking on the banner below to get the $15 free bet. Saksa, he doesn't dodge that attack, and because of it, he's going to be going down. No! He's actually fine. He did have the Fairy Fire, and Miposhka is not going to be getting that kill. He understands. He gets the Jingus, he uses the Boundless, and I'm the one that goes down.
It was really close. But nice call not to chase there, at least. And Collapse is closing into level 6, and then they could try to make a play onto Skeeter. Maybe with 1 rotation they're gonna have enough damage. Level 6.
The bottom lane there is level
Even
6.
gonna wait.
Yeah, he doesn't need the rotation. Just wants to go, but Skeeter is actually going to be fighting, yeah, through the bulwark. You're not going to be healing too much. The Night King is deeping, and Collapse is going to have a bonk. He misses the bonk! Oh, are the nerves getting towards him?
Maybe. They might have needed the rotation after all. I was like, ooh, maybe they can kill him, but they can't, and 9 definitely can kill Yatoro. Tundra having all the early momentum right now, only Laurel really doing well for himself.
That's a solo kill, but the Laguna just cuts down Yatoro. Everyone on Spirit is suffering, as you mentioned. Laurel is having a good time, but we're seeing that they're starting to crumble under the pressure. This is not a good thing here in the best of 5 grand finals, but they probably can kick themselves back into the game. It's still not over. A couple of mistakes doesn't mean that the game is done.
No arena for another 30 seconds, so Skeeter can rest easy, just click some creeps and be fine. Yatoro, he's trying to go mid again because bot is so awful, but he also died mid, so he's really struggling right now. 9 minutes, only level 5. Not anywhere close to his Radiance.
Daxa is even denying his creeps here in the mid lane. It feels like double support in the mid, but one of them is actually a core that is not having a good time. Yes, it is an alchemist, but 3.2k net worth 9 minutes in. It is not a place you want to be at. He will be coming back once you get more points in Greevil's Greed, but before that, he needs the acid spray. He needs his ulti, so it's gonna take some time before Yatoro is a farming machine.
I mean, once he hits the Radiance, he's gonna be able to recover, but at that point they might have lost a lot of the map already. Luckily, they do have Laurel, and he's actually going for a Blink Dagger first item. He wants to be hyper-aggressive together with Collapse. They know they need to make the space for this Alchemist.
There was one game of Gaming Gladiators in the previous BetBoom tournament, the Christmas show, where Quinn, he saw that his team was losing heavily and he went for first item Blink. They didn't win in the end, but he created so much space and made so many plays around the map. So Laurel, he's probably going for the same approach here.
This is very nice if they can get it.
Yatoro, he's hoping for a kill. Give it to me, and it is gonna be given with the struggling carry. Meanwhile, top lane snaking. He cannot fly away just yet. He cannot fly away ever because he's gonna be lifted up and then brought down by Collapse. Wants to go over the cliff, not gonna be happening.
A really nice patience from Mira. He was so ready with that lift.
So he's on him. Oh, Black Hole, not gonna be that great. 33. He's gonna be very unhappy with that one. Pretty much has used the Black Hole the same amount of seconds as in the previous game.
Yeah, fair enough. And 9 actually did go for the other lands and then max of the spells.
Okay. So it is gonna be a Magic Lina. He's committing onto it with the Ethereal Lens. Maposhka getting jumped on from the trees to the trees and down with the trees. Maposhka tries to go for the ulti and then he just drops down with the mid lane tower, probably following suit.
Ooh, they actually want to defend this. If they can get a stun onto 9, that would be big. They can make something happen.
That's a stolen reality rift. Now not any longer. Laurel comes in with a blink, going for 9, and they have the Dragon Slayer. So 9 is going to be dropping low. He's dead. He's going to turn around trying to kill the Rubik. Not going to be successful at that. And Laurel, he claims a big one. The reveal of the Blink Dagger is successful.
Yeah, and they defend the tier 1 as well, and that is huge. Because they do have the Treant that can heal up the towers again. And they need all the space in the jungle they can get. So keeping the map closed for Tundra like that is huge.
Living Armor, though, it is not as good as it used to be in terms of healing towers, so it's gonna take some time. Collapse, he's being targeted. Wukong's command being used. Nice spear there onto Skinner just in time, and Collapse now is gonna be running away. But he's gonna be blocked in, slowed down, and pulled back in. But Laurel comes over with the stun. No, the Lina is gonna be better there, but the splitter does come out a little bit too late. 9, he can't go forward because he's on the cliff, and the egg is gonna be unsuccessful. Laurel will get himself away.
We still get the collapse, so pretty nice trade for Tundra, all things considered. At the same time, Yatoro is finally farming the jungle pretty well though, and he's starting to creep up in the net worth chart.
Yeah, he is getting towards the top there. Of course, it's an alchemist. You want to be having more. But getting equal with the enemy when he had a detrimental laning phase already is going to be acceptable for him. Laurel gets his bottle refilled. There's going to be some salves flying around. The In Spirit are ready to go again. Mars has an arcane boots. I haven't seen that in forever.
I think Collapse does this every time he plays Mars because he knows he's gonna build Refresher at some point. And if you go for the phase boots, you don't really have mana to comfortably use 2 arenas, 2 spears, 2 God's Rebukes. So this is like a Collapse staple.
Yeah, I guess ever since they nerfed the Refresher mana and they added the BKB mana, right?
And he even gets it if he doesn't plan on getting Greaves. It's just his boots of choice.
He probably might get a Greaves at some point. We'll see if that's the case. For now, he wants the Shard, BKB, Hex. Okay, those are his wishes. We'll see if they do come true. Currently, it's optimistic, but as the game progresses, he's going to be getting into those items. Maposhka level 6, we haven't seen his ulti being used. In Yatoro, he's going to have the Sacred Relic fairly soon. Once the Radiance comes out, that is when the farm really begins.
He's so close to his Relic. If he goes down now, right now, that would be a big deal, but it's only the Saksa posturing.
He just wants to be there to annoy Yatoro, and for now he's doing a good job slowing him down. If he's not attacking creeps, you're happy. And currently he is not. He's gonna have to wait for the creeps to respawn. And Saxai, now you're gonna pay the price for those stolen. It's gonna be a tree dance. He gets pushed to the high ground, but now with the tree dance, he's gonna take some damage still. The turnaround is gonna be quite nice, and they'll lose the Mars. The question is, do they even lose Saxai here on Tundra? No. He's gonna be healed up just enough by staking, and the chase is on. Mira might be next. The stun there, the splitter, not gonna be connected on anyone, but he does toss the CK away, and the reality rift will not be coming through.
This Monkey King is so tanky. My goodness.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yep, I guess it's very hard to kill him. Larl, he does find... You were talking about something? Yeah, when Lesh comes over, he's just not that tanky any longer. Mira, with a tree dance, will be giving the right amount of vision.
Radiance should be coming up really soon for the Alchemist. I'm not sure if Tundra is doing enough to shut him down. Because if this goes later, I would definitely favor Team Spirit. We've seen before what a level 25 Treant can do. So if this goes super late game, I have a clear favorite.
Under attack.
Alina, the smoke, going slowly collapse. He just jumps in and immediately is like, nope, too many heroes here, a lot of traffic. They're gonna disperse. So the smoke from Tundra is not gonna be giving anything. Team Spirit, they're gonna stay safe.
9, he's going for the shard plus Aghanim's build, so it is the true spellcasting Lina build. Getting those stacking damage, I don't know what to even call it, but the shard increases his damage with spells for fiery soul stacks. And of course, his Aghanims makes him fly and gives him like magic resistance and stuff like that.
Yeah, an extra magic damage dealt as well, so it's gonna be quite a lot. I think it's 105 damage with 7 fiery soul stacks. It's 15 times 7. I think I got that right there. But either way, it's not a lot, but I guess it is not negligible either. We're seeing 2 times odds here in favor of Tundra. They're still being quite heavily favored, and if any of our users want to use that one, they can click on the banner below and get their $15 free if they are new. If not, just join the BetBoom website. It is going to be fun, but 3k gold, the Tundra, again, they're controlling the map more, and mind you, this is an Alchemist on the other side.
Skeeter is almost ready to fight now. He has his Echo Saber, he has his Armlet, just a BKB, and he's all set.
Completely different gameplay. I haven't been following much of Western Europe, and I've forgotten that's how they approach it. Saxa comes down from the trees. Not the right tree. Is going to be cut down there by Mposhka, so Saxa is out.
And Saxa is actually rushing a Diffusal Blade. I always joke that support Monkey Kings can build whatever they want, and it still looks legit.
I'm a big fan of the Gleipnir currently. A toss into Boundless Strike is just so much catch, but Tundra, it seems to not be the way they want to play Dota. But with Alina and the Boots of Travel, I would like it in the side lanes if he would be hunting with that.
Good catch, Miposhka.
He's looking very much dead here. Even with the Overgrowth being used, that crit from Skitter just doesn't have enough armor to survive through it.
A good amount of damage on the tier 1 top, but at the same time, the mid lane tier 1 for Tundra is being pressured really hard by Laurel with an Arcane Rune as well.
He's gonna have another round of the Diabolic Edict there if he wants to. Tundra, they're again in a smoke. I haven't seen this Enigma for a very long time. What has 33 been up to?
And he has his Greaves, but he's just been doing 33 things. Farming jungle, pushing out side lanes, and not using Black Hole. The classic combination.
Does have the Tumbler's toy, so he can't get close if he wants to. Jump in from Collapse, going for the Lina. The Black Hole is ready. What was stolen? Oh no, it's only going to be the Midnight Pulse, so he can go for the Black Hole right now if he wants to, but he's actually taking so much damage. If you use it, you just die. Team Spirit, they get 2 kills in the egg. Completely wasted there. You're blocking the path to basically nothing. Your heroes are already dead.
Big kills there. Team Spirit. This Laurel Blink dagger has really been paying off. Like, I've seen it a few times and it's never looked better than this game. And a quick BKB as well. He's not gonna farm super well. Like, he isn't gonna accelerate his farming. He's not gonna be as tanky as he would be with the Bloodstone. But I think this is the exact build that is needed to win this game.
Yeah, they definitely needed him to create space, and with the Blink Dagger, he was able to do just that. Finally, we're gonna be seeing the Larl, who joined Team Spirit, because in his first games with the team, he was mostly being aggressive, just in the face of the enemies. And that's gonna be his job in this one. Finally, Yatoro is topping the network chart, and he's starting to create some distance between him and the other heroes.
He's starting to come online. Looking at this Tundra draft, do they have the tools to deal with the farmed Alchemist? I would think so, because they do have the black hole. They have a lot of damage. I'm not sure if they can execute it, because it's gonna be very hard to play around the arena as well.
And there's a shard on the Mars already. Collapse, he believes in himself. We believe in him too. So getting 2 people to the edge of the arena is going to be so much damage if he manages to do it. Phoenix does have the Veil of Discord, an item we don't see too much. But this Lina, man, when she gets an Aghanim's, it's just going to be a best kill on anyone.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I already feel bad for the poor supports for Team Spirit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone like Rubik just one-shot.
Is under attack.
And then you create space for a black hole if the Rubik is dead. It is going to be tough for Mipashka to get there and then cancel it. I'm going to guess that he is going to be working towards his Blink Dagger as well, but currently the Treant Protector is very, very poor.
I wonder when we're gonna see the first Roche. Team Spirit, they tried to go for a smoke, but they couldn't really find anyone, and now Tundra, 5-man smoke as well. So we could be seeing a huge fight soon.
They want to take down the trees. He's thinking about the midnight pulse there, but 33 not going to be doing it. Both of the teams smoked up. Larl is the only one not in it, and Collapse's smoke will break as well. Snaking immediately goes in with the Sunray to prevent the blink. But the Mars is already out. Thinking about going in, they're going to lift up the Monkey King. Larl has the BKB going forward. You're going to use the Wukong's command, and your Monkey Warriors are going to watch as you go down. But it's a 9-second BKB. Team Spirit, you're not going to be too happy with this one. They want more. And they're going to be getting Sitter, who pops the BKB as well. You're going to have to use that one too. He turns around with the Bulwark, trying to defend himself. The stun from the Lina. Collapse is dropping low, but Alina is gonna be caught. 9, he's gone. He's gone with Collapse, and he's gonna be surviving for this one. The egg has been popped, but again, just a zoning one.
The stolen Chaos Bolt from Mira is huge. That spell is so good on Rubik with the extra cast range.
We saw the green Chaos Bolt flying towards the Lina, and 9 is looking at it without the BKB. There is no way you live. Team Spirit in an enemy triangle, finally out on the map. I don't think they've seen this triangle of Tundra for the entirety of the series, but finally they'll be there.
It's starting to look better and better for Spirit, but Tundra, they're far from out of it.
I don't like the CK isn't going for a blink. He now finishes the Mage Slayer, but when I saw him go for a BKB, I knew Skitter doesn't want to fight. And I'm not sure if you're gonna get away with this. The Alchemist still isn't reaching critical mass, but in 4 or 5 minutes, he is gonna be there.
I feel like he is gonna get the blink now, but it feels so bad to play CK without a Mage Slayer against Lesh, because all of your illusions just die in like 2 pulses of the Nova.
True. That is very
See another
true.
smoke.
They smell fear, they smell blood, they smell victory. In game number 2, Team Spirit, they're still 1k gold behind, and with an Alchemist, it means that they're not doing quite well, but they're the ones that are dictating the tempo of the game. Obviously, they're not going to be finding anyone here. No one from the side of Tundra is on the left side of the map.
33 is once again in the side lanes, trying to push it out, but he might just run into Laurel. That doesn't look like it. He's very patient.
Yep, and he's going to be TPing to the bottom lane, so Laurel has to deal with the lanes there. I wouldn't hate Laurel when he finishes off this Bloodstone and disassembles the Arcane Boots just to go for the Boots of Travel. You need it here if you're Spirit. Chaos Bolt flying through is gonna pop the egg. He knew he was dead there if that does connect. So Tundra, they're just keeping themselves out of fights. But Yatoro comes over. He does have the BB, has the BKB as well. Once 9 is very fast, Laurel comes over too. 9 is looking very much dead. Saxa is not gonna be staying there, not gonna be trying to save his teammate. It is done. You're on your own and you're dead.
Skeeter, he might have to pop his BKB to get out of this one. He's patient though. He's still gonna go for it. That's an 8-second BKB now, I believe, or maybe even a 7-second one. But Collapse, he is so fearless. He just chases the enemy carry. He's like, I don't care. You might be able to kill me if you fully commit, but my team is close enough. Come at me, bro.
He always sees when the stun is coming towards him, he uses the bulwark and just hard for the CK to go for him. If he does have his ulti, if he has the illusions, sure, you're hitting from all sides, but just as a hero on its own, he can't do anything. So I'm liking how Collapse is playing this.
Under attack.
And slowly but surely, the gold advantage is creeping in favor of Team Spirit. It's kind of to be expected. But is
enough?
Tundra doing enough? What do you think? Do they need to play more aggressively, or what's the play here?
This is a very hard game to read because I think that Yatoro has been slowed down enough that usually it's 25 minutes into the game where the Alchemist is unkillable, right? If he has a perfect game. But it's 25 minutes into the game, he cannot go to a tower, he can be brought down. So I'm thinking the Team Spirit, they're gonna have a rough game ahead of themselves. They're still gonna have to execute quite nicely. It's not gonna be a walk in the park just because your Alchemist is farmed.
So would you favor Tundra in the later stages of the game then?
Oh, I don't know. It comes down to execution so much because the black hole, it can be cancelled. You have an egg, you have a black hole. I think it might be slightly easier for them to play, but I'm not even sure when it comes to that one. So I would say this is a 50-50 until the Treant Protector gets level 25. I would be very surprised if that happens in this game.
So it's 25 minutes. We have a 1k gold advantage. You are saying it's a 50-50? We could be in for a long one once again.
I'm not complaining at all. Roche is gonna be complaining because long games means he dies a lot of times. He is an immortal guy, but his Aegis, his shield, is gonna be stolen. It was already claimed once by Team Spirit. They have their names written in it forever, as well as Tundra themselves. So now it's gonna be Team Spirit that claimed the Aegis first.
This is gonna go to Yatoro still.
I would assume he's not opening up his inventory though. They give it to Laurel.
Give it to Laurel indeed. I guess there is only one chemical rage.
Radiant's bottom
It's the same game. I'm watching the same game here. It's different heroes. I thought it's gonna be going differently, but it's Team Spirit trying to go for fights. Team Spirit taking the first Roche. Tundra taking the first tier 2. It's literally the same game we're watching here, Wingblade. So let me just get my predictions here. It is gonna be going until minute 60, and then Tundra are barely gonna win by killing the throne. If we are going by what happened in the previous one, though, I'm hoping we have a little bit of a different scenario in the game too.
We'll see. You're saying it's going to 60 minutes and then Tundra is gonna win, but you also said that Team Spirit was gonna win once they have the 25 on the Treant. So does that mean you don't expect the Treant to be 25 at 60 minutes?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, interesting. We'll keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, this is now a really big stalemate. No one wants to fight. They're just holding the line. Tundra, they're holding a little bit more of the map, but obviously the Alchemist is going to be getting more farm. Skidder is actually very close. Saksa, that's a beautiful boundless strike, which means that he's probably going to live because of it. It was a stolen tree dance, Rubik jumping through the trees, but no monkey business here. He's not going to be going forward.
And Laurel is going to be going for the BOTs like you mentioned. Yatoro goes in aggressively and they're going to find 33. It's a nice freebie.
We get a kill. We get a kill. There was a very long time there was no kill, and this is one is also going to be going in favor of Spirit. They're owning, as Dota will say, and Yatoro is searching for more without the Enigma, fighting for Tundra very hard. But look at their positioning. They're just so nicely dodging Yatoro as he finally finds someone. He's thinking about jumping in. Saksa is going to be next. He turns into a courier. No problem. We're going to kill couriers, Monkey Kings, whatever. We just want blood.
I have to say I'm really impressed by... Ooh, 9. He doesn't have a BKB.
He can't fly so high. And now he's gonna be dropped down low. He's in fire. Lina, not immune to it though. Your hair is on fire, lady, and you will not put it out. Yatoro, he gets another kill there. He's everywhere on the map. He's not farming. He's going for kills. And look at Laurel chasing down Snake King, who's gonna have some nice footwork here, so should be able to survive.
I was gonna say I'm so impressed by the way that Tundra is using the map. Because they're playing against an Alchemist Lashrak and they're still out farming Team Spirit. But then they lost 3 heroes, so that's unfortunate. But still, they're being really efficient on the map.
They're still out farming. I really liked how they play around their own vision, how they're guessing exactly where Spirit has vision and keeping themselves slightly out of it. But Snaking, he will be ran down. Finally, Laurel does get him. He is gonna be chasing him until the ends of the earth, and now they're gonna be finding a bigger one, Skeeter. They want him dead, but he is gonna be protected by the Enigma, so he gets himself away.
And BKB was popped by Yatoro. That could be big.
No chemical rage either. This is timing for Tundra if they want to go for it, but usually they go with the approach, we don't want to fight, we just want to farm. So we'll see which one they decide to go for. The side lanes again pushed in. Spirit, I think they're super annoyed. They're playing their 4th game of the day where every single lane on the side lanes is just being pushed in. They aren't used to this. In Eastern Europe, people, they just fight until death.
Yep. Oh my goodness. They're just finding kills left and right. I believe it was like